I said it once, I'll say it again, what a joy it is to be here today. 13 years ago this weekend, I was in your shoes. I was a brand new freshman. I remember first weekend on campus going to Mariucci Arena. They had this big, student group festival or something where you go and you decide what you want to get involved with. And at that time, I wasn't that Catholic. I was go to Mass every Sunday sort of Catholic, but I just wanted a group to hang out with. So I sought out the Catholic group, and I met, some of the people who are kind of still around today, Brother Brandt and John. They were some of the first people I got to know here. But that first semester of freshman year, it's an awkward semester, right? You're getting into a new place, you're getting crushed by classes that are way harder than you thought they would be, getting way too little sleep, and who knows what else you're up to. It was a tough semester, but looking back on it, God was really preparing me for something that I had no way of imagining, no way of knowing what He was about to do in my life. Towards the beginning of my second semester, in January, February of spring semester, freshman year, I was invited to come on a retreat. This retreat was put on by St. Paul's Outreach, which is now part of the Gopher Catholic umbrella organization. It's called Fan into Flame. And I remember one of my, the friends that I had met that year coming up to me and he's saying, "Hey, Jonathan, what do you do in the last weekend of February?" It's like, nothing, probably studying. He says, "Okay, you're coming on this retreat." It's like, "Oh, okay, sure." So I went, not really knowing, again, what to expect. And God blew me away. This was the first time in my life that I had really given a second thought to the idea that I was called to more than just checking off the boxes. Because for me, that was Catholicism. Catholicism said you have to go to Mass every Sunday. I went to Mass every Sunday. You have to pray before your meals. I pray before my meals. You have to go to confession at least once a year. I went to confession at least once a year. But it was mechanical. It was, okay, got that done, got that done, got that done. Now, as a result of this retreat, I met God. I encountered the Holy Spirit for real for the first time. And He convicted my heart that I was called to more. I was called to more than just mediocre Catholicism. I was called to be a saint, called to be holy. And this was a radical, shift of mindset for me. I didn't know what it meant to be holy. I had read, stories about some of the saints of the past, and well, if I'm called to be holy, then I have to sell all my possessions, run off to some cave in the middle of the wilderness, and live there as a hermit for the next 7 years in order to really meet the Lord. Or I have to, quit college, I have to go to seminary, be a priest or a monk or something. I didn't know what I was doing. And so I remember coming off this retreat and talking to the pastor at the time, Father Ivan, and he said, just wait. First, just learn to be a good Catholic, a good adult Catholic. That's step one. After that, then you can think about priesthood or monk life or whatever else you might be thinking of doing. Very good advice. And so I waited. I learned how to pray. I got more involved with, it wasn't called Gopher Catholic at that time. It was still SPO and something about Faith Connect. Right now, they're merged. Much better system. But I got more and more involved in this, the Catholic Center here, Catholic College Student Group, that was it. So I got more involved. I learned how to pray. I learned how to read the Bible. I met more and more Catholic friends who were encouraging me onward, encouraging me to be a better, more virtuous version of myself. Very different from the friends in the dorms who are encouraging me to be a less virtuous version of myself. And so over the course of the next couple years, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, I come to this deeper, more mature understanding of who is God for me And what is he calling me to do? Even though I did take this extra time to figure out, is God really calling me to be a priest or a monk or anything? In my case, he was. I'm here today. But for all of us, just because you say yes to the Lord once, just because you say yes to the Lord doesn't mean he's automatically going to pull you out of your life and say, you're joining a convent, or you're joining the seminary. No, it's an adventure. It's an adventure that is incredibly personal, incredibly unique for each one of us. That was the adventure that I started my freshman year of college. And that's the adventure that all of you have the opportunity now to enter into. Whatever you do this year, whatever you're studying, wherever you're living, however you want to get involved in the church, know this is a place of transformation. It's a place where we can radically revolutionize ourselves. I should preface that. It's a place where God can radically change us and revolutionize us. He's able to take, a broken, fragile, weak human being and do something great and do something beautiful. That's what he did for me. I don't attribute my vocation as a priest to myself. It is, first of all, the work of God. But secondly, it's the work of all those people that have been a part of my life, all the way from when I was born and baptized to now, growing up, being involved in the church, being involved in the youth group, to here, getting involved with St. Paul's Outreach, Gopher Catholic when it started up my junior year, and all these different groups, friends, organizations, ministries that helped form me to be the man that I am today, the priest that, God willing, I was able to become. I invite all of you today, be open to the work of God. Be open to whatever he wants to do. He will surprise you. And you might be scared by that thought. You might be scared that, God's going to totally, uproot you and destroy everything you know. No. It's such a beautiful adventure. It's such a great adventure. And so please, I ask you, as a welcoming invitation, be open to God's work in you this year. You won't regret it.